Guys, how's it going? It's Auran Shereef here. Want to talk to you guys today about what happened to me January 23rd, 2024 of this year, a few months ago, about 6 months ago at 8 p.m. A horrible thing happened. I had a heart attack. It was pretty crazy. Everybody has asked me to show this video, so I decided to make a story about what happened. Here's all the medication and pills I have to take. I don't have to take all these. It's just I have duplicates, but I have to take a lot of medication. Metropol tartrate helps with your blood pressure. Berlenta is because I have a stent in my heart. It's key that's preventing the clog from continuing on. Got aspirin. I got to take baby aspirin every day. Losartan also helps with the blood pressure. Then I'm taking the statin drugs, which is very controversial, but got to take statins to keep my cholesterol down. So I'm taking statin drugs. Prevestatin is actually one of them. So yeah, I just want to talk about what happened and then maybe explain to you guys the things that I do differently in my life now. So January 23rd, I was sitting in my living room, just normal. I was just sitting around doing nothing, couldn't feel anything, didn't have any signs of anything happening. Sitting in my living room. Here's a little video of me just hanging out on the couch, just having a bowl of fruit or something like that. And it was very weird. It kind of happened in slow motion. It kind of took a lot of time. I was eating, I was drinking, I had a lot of sugary drinks also that day. I think I was drinking a ginger ale or something that's like 36 grams of sugar. After a period of time, I started feeling some chest pain. And then I started feeling in my shoulder, a lot of pain in my shoulder. I started getting very cold. It was very weird. I mean, one of my arteries is closing. So what's happening is you're having your blood restricted. So after a period of time, it was just very unusual how cold I got. I actually got up and I took a shower, a hot shower, because it was freezing. And then when I came back, I had a tremendous amount of chest pressure, and both of my shoulders felt like you had your hands on there and you're squeezing them, squeezing your shoulders down. So that was pretty bad. And then after a period of time, severe chest pain. And the way I'm explaining to it, I just don't want to get into detail because it kind of is still traumatic. So a lot of pressure in my chest, felt like I'm lying you down on the floor and I'm pressing my foot on top of your chest and I'm basically trying to kill you. That's how much pressure it is on your chest, like an elephant. It's really bad. I get up and then you'll see in the next video, I'm kind of sitting there with my chest. I'm sitting with my shirt off in a towel because I was so cold. I got out of the shower and it was just bad. It was just a horrible feeling, headache, nausea. I puked in the bathroom. I started vomiting everywhere. I messed up the lining of my esophagus. And then after a period of time, I called the ambulance. And at that point, you'll see the video of me on the floor, on all fours. I'm calling the ambulance, telling them to come save me. I probably only had a few minutes to live before my heart stopped. And I actually have a 3D printed model of an actual heart here. It found the exact location of where it is, of where my heart was. It was in my left. It was in one of my bottom arteries right here at the bottom here. Wasn't my major artery, which was the LAD, which is called the widowmaker, which kills people. It actually took out my mom years ago, sadly enough, but I had 100% blockage in my obtuse marginal artery for any of the surgeons out there. And it's not a major artery, but if any of these block up, you'll feel it. So luckily it was that bottom one down there. And because of that, I had time to live. If it was your left main artery, I mean, you don't have very long to live because it's such a big artery. It'll cut off all the blood supply, but mine was here, so I was able to live a little longer. Unfortunately, the ambulance people, and I've already discussed this in length with a lot of different people, but the EKG, and I bought a book about how to read EKG, look normal when they looked it up. So the way I was explained is the electrical signal when I was in the ambulance and in the hospital made it appear like I'm not having a heart attack, but everybody was incorrect. I'm not going to name any names, but that's one of the reasons they weren't able to properly diagnose it immediately when I got picked up. And when I was in the hospital, I was in there for quite some time and still people didn't believe me, but until they saw the troponin levels, which is the enzyme that's released in your heart, if you did have some type of infraction, that enzyme level showed like 20, then it showed like 500, then 1,000, kept rising to 5,000. And that's when they decided you must be having a heart attack. So I actually sat in the hospital for 13 hours overnight. And they should have put the stent in my heart within the first hour, like they did to my dad. But he had a heart attack a long time ago. It's genetics, which I'll get to. But I mean, over time, they should have given it to me sooner. So there's a lot of mistakes, a lot of problems that happened during the whole thing. Luckily, I survived through everything. I only had 5% damage in my heart. Again, they should have done it sooner, but due to cardiac rehab, I was able to fully repair my heart and get all my heart muscle back, luckily, since I'm so young. But yeah, it was a really horrible experience. I was in the ER for a long time. We did the cardio angioplasty, where they put a stent into your heart and they open with a balloon and they open up your artery and they allow the blood flow to pass through. So that saved my life. Immediately, as soon as he put the stent in, I felt a tremendous amount of relief. Dr. Dennis Friedman saved my life, and he also saved my dad's life, oddly enough. He's one of the top surgeons there at Shady Grove Hospital in Gaithersburg, Maryland. I really appreciate Dr. Friedman for saving my life. A lot of factors that contributed to this. Stress definitely is one of them. The biggest thing is genetics, and I have a book that I started reading by Kashif Khan. It's called The DNA Way. And that's a pretty good book. Talks about genetics, what's going on with you. And basically, we did the genetic testing and found that one of my chromosomes is a little bit messed up. I have a little allele, and it's not removing cholesterol at the same rate as everybody else. So if you have a hamburger and I have a hamburger, let's say it's like 100 grams of cholesterol that gets removed from your body. I only have 50 grams that gets removed, and the rest of it just sits in my arteries. So lucky me. I've got a genetic thing going on. And, we're working with the NIH to see, if there's something we could do to reverse the genetic, DNA. They're able to do that. There's different methods and stuff they can look into that. So we're doing some testing. I think I have a study that's coming out about it, actually. I might be doing some genetic editing using mRNA technology. I talked to the famous Karina Caricchio, who invented the COVID vaccine. I had an email exchange with her. We're going to attempt to do some genetic editing, because if I have kids, they're also going to have the same genetic problems, and they'll have to become vegan like me. I'm vegan now. So yeah, that's a lot of stuff happened. So we'll probably have a big movie or something come out about this, or a TV series or something about how I survived my heart attack and what I'm doing to recover. Quite a few books I've read. I feel like I became a doctor through all this, and I'll just start with the first book. You guys can take pictures, and we'll put it in the link in the description. How the Body Works is pretty good. It kind of explains, how the body works, how everything works. I just wanted to really understand what's going on. There's a picture of an eye here, and it just shows you like how everything works. So that's the first book. The Cholesterol Cookbook, how to basically cook using low cholesterol foods, diets, things, so you don't have your cholesterol up all the way. I keep my cholesterol very low these days. The pills, all I have to take, I have a book on just what all the pills do, aspirin, Brilinta, what is everything doing to my body, taking these pills every day? Is it affecting me? What's happening? I'm sure there's probably long-term liver damage, but the other thing, if I don't take the pills, I'll just die. So I have to take the pills for now. Practical Guide to EKG. I just wanted to understand why, when they read my EKG, everything looked normal. Again, very unusual. I was having an actual heart attack. Drug-eluting stents. I do have a chromium stent inside my body for the rest of my life. That's going to be different. So I wanted to understand, what type, how did stents work? My background's in engineering. So this is stuff that I had 3 months to basically study everything. What happens when you have a stent in your body? What happens when it gets eroded? If you stop taking the drugs? Does it clog up? Do you die? All the questions you could possibly think of after a heart attack I had, and I figured it out. And this is pretty disgusting. What happens if you leave a stent in over time and you don't take the medication? It clogs up. It's called erosion or something like that. So that's pretty bad. But luckily, I'm fine. My stent has assimilated within my artery walls, and it's perfect. So it looks just like this, and it'll go around the inner lining of your endothelial cell, and it'll assimilate with your body. This was also really good, How to Heal Your Body by Louise Hayes. This one's really interesting because she talks about, I was thinking maybe it was my conscious thing. Was it in my head? And is that why I had a heart attack? And if you go to the page about a heart attack on page 39, she'll explain to you. She says heart attack is squeezing all the joy out of heart in favor of money or position. Now, I'll repeat that because that's a pretty big deal. Squeezing all the joy out of the heart in favor of money or position. So basically that means all you do is you just think about money and you're just trying to get money and you're trying to get rich and you completely forgot how to enjoy your life with your friends and your family. And my good mentor, Ty Lopez, told me, there's 4 pillars of life: health, wealth, love, and happiness. And a lot of people just concentrate on the wealth part and they completely forget about having health. And, if you don't have health, you have nothing. Health is wealth. You guys got to be careful focusing everything on just trying to get money. I mean, take me as an example. I nearly killed myself just trying to get rich. So that's not the right way to live in life. You got to balance. You got to make sure you take care of your heart. Otherwise, you're dead. And, if you're dead, you can't make any money unless you're getting royalties or something. And then your estate is still making money. But in general, you want to keep yourself alive by taking care of your heart. The heart represents the center of love and security. So the affirmation that Louise talks about, she's big on affirmations, is you want to say, my heart beats to the rhythm of love. I bring joy back to the center of my heart. I express love to all. So that's also pretty good. Another thing that says heart problems is long-standing emotional problems, lack of joy, hardening of heart, belief in strain and stress. So basically, you're taking in all your emotional damage and your trauma from your entire life, and you're internalizing it. And in return, you're causing yourself heart issues, which I agree is what I was doing. After my mom passed away of a heart attack, I internalized everything. And in fact, I destroyed my own heart from the emotional trauma and pain. I did get help afterwards. Still very depressing to lose the loss of a parent or a loved one. It's not something you ever move on from, but you move forward. Instead, you want to say the affirmation, joy, joy, joy. I lovingly allow joy to flow through my mind and body and experience. Again, this is Louise Hay, How to Heal Yourself. Very good book. I like it. So you got to do mind, science, body, medication to get over this, to get through this. So, I definitely agree with Louise Hay on what she's saying. This is very important. Another thing is when the body says no, Exploring Stress Disease Connection by Gaber Mate. Okay, so this is pretty good book too. So I read a lot of books after what happened to me. Even interpreting your blood work, what happens when you go get your blood work done, what are they reading for? You need to check your iron levels, your deficiency, your serum levels, etc. I basically got a PhD in cardiovascular disease within 3 months. It was a lot of reading and studying, but I had plenty of time to do it because, I was available.